Welcome everybody. This is Andre with Mogul Mindset. I'm lucky enough to sit on this round table, round couch, with some heavy hitters. I'm gonna let everybody go around and introduce themselves. Starting off with,
I'm Monica Whitfield with empowered.essence, the resource expert.
Yeah, I know me. I'm Mr. Six Ways. I show you 6 ways to do anything in life.
How you guys doing? I'm Herb. Pretty much truck driver, trucking entrepreneur. I'm all in one.
all right. We're gonna begin. So what we're gonna do a deep dive, and I want to talk about mindset. One thing that I noticed is that during the pandemic, it awakened something in a lot of people where it seemed like people hated their jobs all of a sudden. Well, actually, not hated their jobs all of a sudden. Realized that. Go ahead. Oh, sorry about that. People realized that, hey, you know what? I could be doing something better with my time, and the entrepreneurial spirit just awakening everybody. What did you guys think about that?
I was a big fan, especially for our minorities, because a lot of minorities had this thing that they could not do anything besides work a 9 to 5. And we all know that just a 9 to 5 by itself typically leave us still broken in poverty. So to see a lot of entrepreneurs that was minorities starting to have their own business or learning about investing, it was a proud moment for me.
So we're talking about mindset, right?
Mindset.
So one of the big things that I like about people shifting to mindset is your situation is not your destination. So when you're talking about your situation and you understand that you can get a different destination, it changes the whole avenue. Like she said, a lot of people don't think about like what they can do or how they can get there because they feel like they can't. So when you shift that mindset, you break generational curses, you start a new generational curse of wealth.
I agree 1,000,000,000%. Also, the mindset is just being inside the rooms too. Once you're inside the room, you can actually see it, and if you see it, that you can achieve it. You believe it. So I believe that's what happened too with the
Pandemic.
pandemic.
One thing I will say that I saw on the onset of the pandemic, because I know we were talking about minority business owners, a lot of minority business owners were locked out in the beginning of the pandemic because the government came out with all these programs and incentives, and because a lot of times we cut corners and we don't do things the way we're supposed to, such as structure our business correctly or even file the paperwork correctly, have a bank account, report all the money. We were scrambling to like, hey, can I get in this door? Can I get in that door? Can I get in that door? And in the beginning, a lot of doors were closed for us until finally they go like, all right, go ahead and let them get the crumbs after the big boys done got most of it. What do you guys think about that?
I feel like it was kind of like a mix because I feel like it was a little bit of a distraction because when like the PPPs and the SBA loans and all that stuff was coming out, it was kind of like bait to where it's like, oh, we know the minorities are going to go and try to make shortcuts to where they're doing things the wrong way, not trying to put anyone out there, but just they did it the wrong way, not the legit way. Because that's just something that we do. We hustle, we grind, and we make sure that we go out there and get it. But instead of going out there and getting it the right way, we try to cut corners. And we could have really utilized that money to really grow ourselves. We did see a lot of millionaires, overnight millionaires, like they said, but a lot of them are failing short right now because they did not do the right steps to really start their business the right way, if they even had a business. So I really feel like it was good because it did open up a lot of minds to even start investing, start learning, or start having a business. But at the same time, we really didn't sit down to get the right education to go behind it.
So with me, I kind of look at things differently. I'm a very unorthodox person. I don't feel like we didn't cut the corners. I feel like we didn't cut the corners right. So the same corners that we cut, they cut. It's just they took the time to not cut the corner on the corner they cut. And what I mean by that is they cut corners too, but they knew how to dot their I's and cross their T's after they cut the corners. So we just were slower to learn it, because the thing about us, and I love this about us, once we get on something, we change it forever. You know what I'm saying? It was cool when they was doing it. Then when we learned how to do it, they had to make rules for it. So it wasn't really us cutting corners. They started making corners for us not to get across. You get what I'm saying? So what they did was, it's like, okay, these people doing it, and now you see a lot of them are getting called out. But it was the fact of, we did it, and then we took it to a level they didn't expect us to. And that's what I love about our people. It's like, we get a chance at something, we're gonna flip it, we're gonna change it, we're gonna switch it, and we're gonna make it more convenient and more reasonable to anyone. And that's the thing. When we get that power, just show how scary things can be when we get our chance.
Man, once again, I agree with that too, because that's like what they did. It's like when they said it's for the small business owners and all that, these big time companies, they was applying for that. They were trying to call themselves small business owners and all that. So it's just amazing. And also, once we get into something, it's like we're gonna go full fledged. You know, we're gonna no holds barred. And a lot of us was like, shoot, man, we seen opportunity, so we took it. Some people, it's up for opinion. You know, like, did they take it too far? Did they do this? Did they do that? I guess the feds is going to figure that out. The feds is going to try to figure that out right now. I mean, they was up for a win. They was up for a minute, so I guess they won in that sense. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, I'll run off to that point. They were up for a minute. Longevity is the key, because we always talk about generational wealth. We don't want to talk about up for a minute, because let's be frank. We go, 3 out of the 4 of us go to a barber shop, and we've all seen the old dude in the corner who told you that he had a 5.0 back in the day and a fur jacket and this and that, and we like, Pops, you live with your mom, and 50 or 60. So what jewel could you give to the people that are listening to us in regards to longevity?
So it depends. So I'll speak for the ladies, I guess. When it comes to longevity, as women, we do tend to feel like we can just be super women to everybody and everything. So longevity to me is us making sure that we have us first. Because one thing, just traveling a lot more this year, I never paid attention to how they say, make sure that you put your mask on for oxygen first before you start helping other people. Mm-hmm. Most of the time as women, we are helping everybody else and us last. But what we fail to realize is, in doing that, if I pass away first, no one's here to take care of everybody else. But if I can keep myself, either mentally, physically preserved, I can now continue to help build this legacy, build whatever, take care of whoever I need to. So legacy, longevity, just making sure that you're taking care of yourself first above everything.
Yeah, so when longevity, the thing that I tell people all the time is, like, a lot of people want to do things, but they don't have a why. They don't have a reason. So when it comes to longevity, it's like I tell anybody, if you do something, it don't really matter if you ain't got a purpose for it, or you ain't got a 5-year, 10-year plan for it. So everything I do is strategic. So when we writing down the things that we want to do and what we want to accomplish, we got to write down how we're getting there, why we're getting there, and where we're going once we get there. Because a lot of times we get somewhere and then we don't know where to go next. And I think that's one of the biggest issues is writing down a plan, having a game plan, being strategic with what you do. Longevity is important, and you know what I'm saying? When I think of longevity, I don't think of longevity as in a couple years, I think of a couple generations. And once you get in that mind frame of moving from generation to generation with what you're doing, you're gonna take everything you're doing to the next level.
That's a fact. Kind of look at it like how the government do it. When they make plans, they don't look at it like 3, 5 years, or even 10 years. They look at it like 20, 20 years down the line. And so that's the longevity that we need to have as well. Definitely get into something, start it, but also have that game plan from A to Z. Sometimes it may even be A to C, but once you get to C, you gotta keep going, you know what I mean? So that's what I feel like longevity is for us, and what we need to really focus on, because what's that saying, you only live once, and so we don't live in it each day like it's my last. Yeah, that stuff sounds cool, but you gotta have the longevity, like make sure that you're not gonna just pass away at 25. So when you're 65, are you gonna be taken care of? You got all your ducks in a row, your monies and everything is there. As well as once you're there, now you're able to have fun with your grandkids and things like that. Got money for your grandkids, so all the way longevity.
I'm gonna piggyback off something that you said, YOLO. So in our community, we are huge consumers. You know our spending power. Our spending power is, I think last time I saw, almost $37 billion. So we spend like nobody's business. But in regards to being consumers, I think we need to reframe the way that we think, because you can't, once again, and we've been pushing this narrative for a little while about generational wealth if all we do is consume. And it'll be okay if we consume and we keep it in a walled garden within our community, but we consume, look, Tommy Hilfiger gets our money, Prada gets our money, Chinese gets our money, everybody gets our money. In our community, in our community, it seems like if you have a business, man, look, your stuff better be top notch before I spend some money over here, girl. But we'll give it to somebody from another community, not calling anybody else out, who disrespects us, not too friendly, not too favorable. How can we change some of those things?
So, supporting each other in the way of what you want to receive, you have to give as well. You can't say that you want, you should shop black, but you don't shop black. So it's like you have to start with yourself first. And like me, I try my hardest to, if I'm going to go and buy a purse, because at the end of the day, we have the power to make any brand popping. That's what we do as minorities. We make sure that the new Birkin bag, we make that popular. So why can't we make some of these black brands popular as well? If we band together and say, you know what, hey, maybe we're gonna push this business this month, or the next couple months, and really like put them forward to where now it's more of a household name or a worldwide name. That's more of like a community thing, bringing the dollars back in to each business, but really just starting with ourselves. If you're not shopping black, why would you expect other people to come shop with you because you're a black business owner? So you got to do it. Sometimes we have to give some type of forgiveness as well, because the same way that you're a new business owner and you're making mistakes and you're trying to learn and you're changing up your business and your brand, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. But as a consumer, you have to give that business owner a little bit of leeway, like, hey, you know what, I'm going to let, just the same way I let McDonald's slide, or I may let these other, companies slide. I'm going to tell you, I'm not even a Mickey D fan. The only person, I'm going to tell you, I'd be upset if Chick-fil-A messed up. That's about the only, because I expect what I expect from Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? I expect that, but that's what they have made their brand be. Mm-hmm. So as a business owner, as we're developing and we're learning, the same way we give leeway to other businesses, we have to give it that same energy to black businesses as well.
So look, like I told you, I'm on orthodox. So my mindset is you gotta change the mindset. So you just said we be spending money on these top brands, right? But I'm gonna pimp that brand out. Because what a lot of people don't understand is people are buying these products when I'm not selling them. Same way Gucci took from old dude and started and brought him in because he was using their stuff. We can pimp out the brand. So my thing is, if I know somebody shopping Birkins, I got my product in the Birkin when I sell you a Birkin. So now I'm putting their brand with my brand and I'm mixing it up. That's what Soulja Boy did. He put his name in front of other people's music, and when people went to download it, it was him. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I ain't gonna say that our people gotta put our dollar back in. We gotta learn how to put our dollar back in and make people wanna buy, because at the end of the day, a consumer is a consumer. So you gotta find your audience. So how I look at that is, I'm looking at what y'all like, I'm looking at what y'all buy. I ain't got no excuse why you're not buying my product, because I know what you wanna buy. I can't focus on one person, I gotta focus on my audience. If I'm finding a pain point, they're gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta solve that pain point for that person, because a lot of times we talk about, shop the black dollar, do this for the black dollar. What is that black dollar doing for us? You get what I'm saying? So if I go put $5,000 in your company, are you going to that park in the hood and making sure that water's working right? I can't guarantee that. So, I mean, neither one of y'all really doing something for me, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact of how y'all are doing it. So I would say take their products, since they're doing us dirty, and resell their products and make the money that they should be making off their products. And that's how you really get their attention. It's like, yo, who is that? And now when I get in court with you, I'm like, yo, this is why I did that. Now you got to answer to these people, and we going to trial, so therefore these people going to see how you really feel. And now I done took your business from you.
Man, that's heavy. I was going to say, man, it'll be great if we make a conscious effort to work with each other. I don't even care if it's like a small group of 20, but each one of those 20 members, we all got something different. So we all got something different. Somebody might be in the grocery fields. Somebody might have an actual farm where they can get their groceries from, like the corn or the grains or something like that. So we make a conscious effort just to rock with each other. But like anything that we do, we make it fly anyway. So if I know that you make jewelry, or somebody over here make clothes, some over here they got shades, but we all together, I'm only gonna rock with you and whoever you. So I'm talking to you and you say, oh my partner over here, she does this, she does that, great, and I met her, and then now we're networking. So I'm making that conscious effort to just rock with us. I'll give it a good old college try, as they say, right? So as far as other people's brands, yeah, that's cool. That's real cool, but let's try with us first and make that conscious effort again to just rock with us first. Like, what's his name, Empowered, he got some suits. I might just go rock with him, just on the suit level. Because I know that he's putting money back into his community. I do know that he's putting money back in his community. Now, if I knew that he was taking his money to, I don't want to put no other names out there, but to somebody else, then I'd be more skeptical, like, man, I don't know about that. But I know he's putting money right back to where he started, so I'm like, I won't mind putting my money back over there, because now it's going to circulate around us.
I want to piggyback off something that Mr. Sixway said in regards to taking somebody's brand and flipping it, because that strategy that Soulja Boy did, a lot of people do that. When you go on YouTube and you're looking for beats and it goes, this Drake beat, and you listen to it and you're like, what the heck is this garbage? And it's somebody that goes like this, look, Drake is the hottest thing out. I'm going to take his name and basically put my stuff, and hopefully enough people, one person hears it and rock with it. But I'm going to say this, that piggybacking has worked, and we're in the internet age, people could look at this. FUBU. When FUBU first started out, FUBU was just a little company that nobody knew. The thing that catapulted it was LL Cool J had a commercial where he rocked a FUBU hat, and since their marketing team didn't know anything about urban music, he dropped basically a subliminal about FUBU for us. What was it? By us. And then, so that was an example of us using their brand and rocking it. I totally understand that, because realistically, these are legacy brands. We don't have the capital to fight the big dogs straight out the gate. So we have to, slowly but surely build our name, and then when our name starts to rise, we go like this. All right, I did the remix. Y'all heard it. Y'all loved it. Listen to my original music.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Just opening up the door. Like, you're literally circling back to the foundation. Like, sometimes we do have to be strategic in how we move. Just to even use Marcus, if we see Marcus now, he doesn't even really tap into like a lot of credit now. He's really opening up doors for so many other people, and on both sides when it comes to the speakers and introducing them to his audience, which is us, and opening us up to all these other speakers. When I first joined in, it was like I had no clue of the type of power that we have. Like, I've been in, different multi-level marketing conventions and seeing minorities. but the grind and the hustle is just different from what we experience when it comes to, recession proof. It's like one of those things to where it's like, man, like, all right, I know that we can get together and we can party hard, but we can get money just as hard as well. But to see the fact that the levels and the fact that you're up here and you don't have to come back down here and help me or bring a resource to me, that's what really just like, you know what, I'm all in. Like, I'm all in for us because he opened up that door. So just the fact of like, he had to piggyback or, recircle back to where he started, and he's giving back to us, in so many different ways. It's not where he started with credit, but I knew it was bigger than that. He knew it was bigger than that.
So, I mean, when it comes to that, my thing is, why reinvent the wheel when the wheel is already made? Why take something that's working and mess with it? But here's the contrary to it. And what a lot of people need to understand, and this is why Neo is great. One of the things Neo said is, I saw everybody that was doing certain things, and I took their stuff, and I took their courses, and I wanted to look at everything everybody was doing and what they wasn't doing. And a lot of people don't understand what I just said. So this is a gym, and this is a big, big gym. When y'all are going to things and y'all looking at these people, stop being a fan. Pay attention to what they're doing and look at how you can do it better. And that's what you got to do with these brands. So when you got these brands like Birkin, that's why you got to tell fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what are y'all doing that I can do and make it better? You know what I'm saying? Like, even a Milano Day Rouge, just like, okay, y'all talking designer. Let me show you what designer really should look like. The material, the way I'm about to make this. So you got to take these brands, you take their labels, you do what they do, and then you put your spin on it. But you got to mimic that audience to be able to market to that same type of audience. So if you know somebody making a shirt with, like I say, Tommy Hilfiger, you got a T&H. Look at how many businesses and stuff now got logos that's very, very similar if their name is a T and an H. But you know how to twist it, like, okay, red and black ain't really the thing. I'm going to do blue and white. You feel what I'm saying? So if you take something and you mimic it, you got to understand that once you mimic it, you just add something extra to it. So if I can come in a room and let's say I know y'all are teaching financial literacy, you got 15 people teaching financial literacy, I'm be like, well, what they're not teaching in financial literacy? Or are they teaching the kids? You know what I'm saying? Are they incorporating kids and parents? So if they're not doing that, okay, I'm gonna add this little twist to it. Now I'm different than everybody in the room. So stop comparing and stop looking up to these people and start looking at what they're doing and looking at how you can 10x.
I look at the guy from Harlem, Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan.
Yes, sir. I couldn't think of his name earlier.
But Dapper Dan is dope because he's like, to me, he's the originator of that. But when he was making his own, and on top of that, after making his own, they started jocking his stuff. They was like, wait, why is everybody buying his stuff and not our stuff? So now they started stealing his ideas.
Exactly.
Because what we do is the trend. We really set the trends. You know, we have everybody in these WNBAs and these NBAs and these MLBs and these I mean, we are the culture. Like, all these kids look at us when we're playing sports. They look at all these entertainers. So whatever we do out there, they're going to follow. They're going to follow suit. But if you do take the Birkin, like you were saying, make it our own, put our own little spin to it, but then it's ours, you know what I'm saying? But because we're gonna make it ours anyway. we have that sauce anyway, so it's gonna be ours.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback off something in regards to making it our own, or no, taking a look at what companies aren't doing. I'll bring and this gentleman, I don't know why I'm gonna say controversial. Kanye West had a contract with Nike. He wanted I'm gonna use the word publishing, but that's not what it is. Basically, and they said, hey, we only give that to athletes. You're a rapper, you don't get that cut. And he goes like this: all right, if you're not gonna give me that cut, I'm done with the contract. I'll go find someone who will give me that because I'm trying to build the legacy for my children. He went to Adidas. I'm gonna tell you this: when he went to Adidas, Kanye got laughed at because we weren't rocking Adidas like that. Adidas was started more so internationally soccer. Matter of fact, they just absorbed Reebok. So we was like, all right. They absorbed the Felon Company. They got Kanye. Kanye is on the Titanic. He's on the sinking ship. But look at what Adidas is doing now. Look at the Yeezy brand. Matter of fact, we don't even associate the Yeezy brand with Adidas. We just look at it as Kanye's brand.
I just found that out right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Yeezy was Yeezy. I didn't know it was Adidas.
Yeezy is Adidas.
My bad.
Yeah.
And he opened the door for like that, like you said, that pain point piece of, you know what I'm saying, other people getting into these industries. Because now you don't just have Kanye, you have other rappers that have shoes. You have other, influencers that have shoes because of the fact that he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But the biggest key is Adidas said, okay, I'm gonna do something that somebody else don't want to do, and I found that pain point.
That's like Jay-Z with champagne. And he went to one big popular champagne company. They turned him away. So what did he do? Okay, I got you. I'll go to the bigger company and I'm gonna make a deal and I'm gonna make it pop. And that's exactly what he did. You get one door closed, but you make a way to open up another one and you slam dunk it. And that's exactly what a lot of people, our people are doing. They're not letting you tell them no. They're gonna create another path or a different route and make it 10 times better.
I'm gonna say this to our people: get used to hearing no. And the reason I say that is no should not be uncommon to us. Even though we live in what they call a post-racism world, whatever that means. I'm not someone who harbors on racism, but we should be used to the hard route. So I'm not saying have a negative mind frame and a negative mindset, but get used to being a trailblazer. Get your chalk, and every tree you walk against, you just leave your mark, because that's the way you're going to be able to leave your footprint on the world. What do you guys think about that?
For Jim, to the people.
Yeah.
So for me, when it comes to like any type of minorities, just one, working together. Two, getting out of your comfort zone, because you should be out of your comfort zone. Anytime we normally go anywhere, we're normally the minority, so we're looked at differently. We're treated differently, and we have to not say get used to it, but get used to it in a good way. Use that as fuel to keep pushing and keep grinding and keep being motivated. Making sure that you are getting out of your comfort zone to get around other like-minded people, because we're out there. You might not be immediately around them, but don't have that mindset of it's not there, because it is. You just are not in the right areas. Those fresh starts, we're in Georgia right now. So many people I've heard, Atlanta will make or break you. It will make or break you, and that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, because it's going to bring out the beast in you. Or you just going to lay down and just let it go, kill you over. So it's like one of those things to where getting out of your comfort zone, people come down here and be homeless, moving from wherever it is, their life that they've had previously, because they see a better opportunity. And that better opportunity is what? Around so many other black business owners that's in Atlanta, that's thriving, that's grinding, that's getting it. It's going to push you. It should push you to be like, you know what? Hey, I need to get on my stuff. So, get it.
So, write this down. Stop being a statistic and start making your statistics. That's first. Stop being a statistic and start making your own statistics. And in order to be successful, there's two things that's going to happen, and this is what one of my mentors told me. It's inconvenience and being uncomfortable. And stop being desperate and start being disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that to say this. Like, success is not comfortable. Success is not just something that's going to come with ease. You know what I'm saying? Anything worth having is worth fighting for, right? So how much are you going to fight for your success? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get out your comfort zone. You're going to have to get from around the same people. You're going to have to stop being around the same environments, because in order for you to succeed, you got to separate yourself. But I'm going to let y'all know now, in order to get to that next level in life, it comes with sacrifice. And I'm not talking about like just regular sacrifices. I'm talking about tears, long nights, you know what I'm saying, isolation, you know what I'm saying, dark moments, you know what I'm saying, because what's up must come down, but what's down must come up. That's just how life works. You feel me? So when you're having those dark moments, that just means you're closer to your light. You know what I'm saying? Life ain't gonna always be bad. So when you're going through these things, you gotta look at them and stop looking at them as like, damn, why am I going through this? But what is God trying to show me? Where am I going? Why am I going through this? And then once you figure out the why and accept the why instead of asking why, you'll understand how to get yourself to that next point. So like I said, stop being a statistic and start making your own statistics. It's up to you to get wherever you want to go. It's just you got to believe in yourself and make sure that you can go there.
Right. It's like, what do you want out of life? I mean, what do you want out of life? Do you want to just sit back and watch everybody have fun? And, you know, she watched the IG reels and they out there and the water, you know what I mean? I mean, do you want to just sit back and watch them, or do you want to create your own reel, you know, while you're out there in the water and Baja or something like that? But I feel like for us, we need to rock with each other. We really do. Men rock with men, women rock with women, men and women rock with each other. Like, it's not a division. Let's come together. Let's make this stuff happen. You know, man, we're going to be greater together than separated and divided.
Second, I thought you was cracking an Atlanta joke. I was like, uh-oh.
No, I didn't say that. That's funny.
No, let me stop. In that regard, I love the message of unity, especially with on social media nowadays. You can't jump online where you see one side against the other side, whatever that's about. Because in all actuality, I almost feel like we're buying into the programs. They're like, all right, they're coming up in this aspect. How can we split them down the middle? So unity, and we're seeing it, especially when you talk about Him 500 and Marcus. The reason why when you go to these multi-level marketing and all these other functions, why it feels different, because we're not the thought leaders in those rooms. You know there's a ceiling, no matter how great you are, how much hard work you are, because at the end of the day, we're not the engine that runs that vehicle. We're a passenger in that vehicle. And I think when we get in vehicles where we're the engine, we're the passenger, we're the tire, we're the rear view mirror, it feels different. It feels like that vehicle could go a lot further. What are your thoughts on that?
It is a difference. Like the difference between a conference with the difference between like the conferences and multi-level marketing is because, like you said, the vehicle is different. When we're in a room with the circle of CEOs, we know that we are in control. When it comes to a multi-level marketing, you still have caps. There is no caps in these rooms because we make our own caps. And if you have that mindset that, you know, there is no ceiling, there is no too far, or there's not too much money to be made, like in a multi-level marketing, you can only be at a certain level. You know, you will never be the CEO. We are the CEOs when we're coming to these conferences. So it's definitely a big difference between the two, and I love it because it gives us even more fuel, more motivation, because we can surpass our mentors. You know, we have a lot of the mentors that they are the authorities, but they want us to be millionaires and billionaires. They want us to surpass them. They want us to, you know, take the torch over. And that's a great feeling to know that, man, he came from where I came from, been through some of the things that I've been through. He's there, and he still wants me to succeed, surpass him. And that's just such a powerful thing because it lets us know how genuine they really are. Multi-level marketing, yeah, you gotta help, you know, that person, you know, be up and gain, you know, recruiting and different stuff like that, but they still don't want you to surpass them. They still want to be top dog, top leader, you know, for whatever benefits that they're getting. So it's definitely a great feeling to be around and be in those type of rooms. That's going to really like push you and motivate you, and especially because the mentees are the ones that truly power, like we power them. You know, they feed off of us and we feed off of them, and I love it.
So one of the things I want to say is, like, I'm gonna look at it from a deeper picture, and I ask y'all to look at it in the same way. The reason why it's no ceiling is not because it's us, and it's not because they're putting us in position. They're putting our children in position, and we gotta stop looking at it as where we're going and start looking at it as where they're going. You get what I'm saying? Like with these conferences, if you get to like those type of conferences, kids not allowed. I ain't never seen no conference that any of them did and said kids can't come. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta be able to, one, put ourselves in the room, but also put the information down. We see a lot of times we want to pass the information around and not to the people that's closest to us. And a lot of times, people say don't mix business and family, but we have to when we talk about our children. That's how you break that generational curse. So what they're doing is, even without them pouring it into us, if you see each one of them, they have their kids with them. You know what I'm saying? They make videos with their kids. They have their kids always around. So when they're teaching that financial literacy, we gotta idolize and be synonymous with that by passing those torches. So when we're talking about building as a community and building together, we gotta start building with our children. I'm not buying nothing before I buy something for her. You get what I'm saying? So I think I love what we're doing now, and I ask that everybody, when we're talking about these ceilings, we're gonna put a ceiling if we don't pass it to our children. Because once we're gone, what happens next? You get what I'm saying? So, and I leave y'all with this before I pass it over is, stop buying your kids what you never had and start teaching them everything you never knew. And that's gonna take you to that next level.
And that was greatly said. He said, stop buying the kids.
Oh yeah.
Stop buying kids what you never had and start teaching them what you never knew. That's gonna change everything for them. That's how you break that generational curse.
I don't have nothing to say. Man, drop the mic.
Yeah.
That was dope.
I'm gonna say this in regards to the not doing business with family. If we can just look at the last couple of presidencies or potential presidencies. The last president that was in there before this current one, family all around him. The current president, hey, family is turning up and getting in trouble, but
they're everywhere.
Yeah. The other potential candidate, what was her name? Miss Clinton. They were pointing the spotlight on her daughter and her family. So it's not true in regards to family, because nepotism is a thing in every community. Firefighters, what do you see? Hey, there's a long list of people trying to be firefighters, but somehow the captain's son that made it up there. And he's scrawny, he's getting his push-ups up. So look, push our kids to the forefront. And I do believe exactly that in regards to, you hear parents say it all the time, I want to spoil my kids rotten. When was the last time you ate something rotten? Or something rotten was what you reached for? I don't believe in that. Spoiling kids rotten. It's better to feed their minds than to feed everything else in regards to games, shoes, you name it.
Generational mindset. Like, generational mindset, for me, it made me sit and think about a lot of communities that is being gone. Like, they're being, we use my community. It was MLK. Pretty much every MLK, it's the hood. But it was where all the black businesses was. So our community, they're almost gone because the generational mindset was not there. So you had your grandmother, grandfather, or mom, dad that worked hard, that slaved to get this business up and going, or that house that's in the hood that's up, going, thriving, but something happens to them, whether they get sick or they pass away. Now the grandkids or the kids don't have the mindset to know, like, man, even if I don't know how to take care or run this business or this house, let me go get the education. Let me go figure it out besides selling it for the dollar that's not even top dollar. I'm selling it because that's what I think that I need to do, because I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to do. So for me, I told my granddad a long time ago, even though he's been doing construction for over 50 years, that was still something that I could have learned on the back end of it, because now that he's older, he don't know anything about computers, writing up invoices, marketing, any of that stuff. But then on the flip side, I don't know anything about construction, even though I was in the truck with them as a little girl, going on the jobs. It could have been things to where he was showing me how to measure up the houses, showing me the different type of material, because those are the things that would have stuck with me as I got older, to where it's like, okay, now I can really go further when it comes to writing up a contract, making sure that you get your money, because of course they'll try to stick.
Oh yeah. charge you on materials. They'll be like, oh, she doesn't know. Usually.
It's definitely that.
So, one of the things that I want to say is I think a problem with doing business with your family is we don't know how to do it. One of the things that I teach, and you know, me and my daughter teach is finding that person's strength. A lot of times we put people in our business and we put them in a place or a position that's not them. Do a disassessment with them, learn their strengths and weaknesses, figure out their love languages. Because one, I may be good at, like she said, the construction part, but she may be good at measurements and putting something in an Excel file. So you got to figure out where their piece is in your business and how you can put them inside your business. It may not be meant for them to do everything you do, but it may be meant for them to do stuff on the back end. So you got to understand who you're working with and why you're working with them. So I feel like you got to bring your family and you got to bring your children in, because at the end of the day, I'd rather trust them than trust a stranger. And I don't care if I make, 8 figures in a day or 7 figures in a day. I care if she does. And when we change the mindset and stop thinking about ourselves and thinking about our future, because when we talk legacy, legacy isn't us, legacy isn't what we're doing, is what we did do. And so our biggest legacy is what comes after us. So if I can create a legacy and say, hey, my daughter is this. You feel what I'm saying? Like when she turns 18, it's like, oh, she's doing this and that. I'm still her daddy. So guess who got her there? You get what I'm saying? No, and whether I'm here or not, what she does when I'm gone is going to show what kind of legacy I led. And when we start thinking like that, that's when we break those generational curses.
Richard Williams.
Right.
You're going to get a movie pretty soon. Mr. Six Ways is going to be in a movie, y'all.
Facts.
Oh, my God.
Oh boy, rather drop the mic.
Hey, this is a tough act to follow. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Look,
Y'all seen it?
hey, you know what? Maybe we should have changed seating arrangement.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Only thing I can chime into that is I'll just say the mindset. The mindset. I'm gonna say the mogul mindset. Right now I can't blame my dad for not teaching me about credit. I can't blame my mom for not teaching me how to do certain things. Because a lot of the times, it's like they pretty much didn't know. You know what I mean? So now it's up to us to learn that all the information that we do have is to teach it to our seeds, in hopes that they'll teach it to theirs. And then we'll be here to teach our grandkids or to show our grandkids how to do it. And use to plant that seed inside their heads. Now their their mindset is there. So now they can never say, well, nobody never told me, because then I'll be a lie. Like, cause I'll make sure I'm telling mine, hey, business credit, doing, you know what I mean? I'm going to be on them. So the mindset is everything, and it starts with us.
All right. Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to go around and get some final thoughts from each of the members of the panelists.
Final thoughts is definitely, as a parent, making sure that you take that time and that opportunity to at least, whatever you're teaching your child, instill in them that what I'm teaching you is just the start. I need you to go out there and finish it, because what I know can only take you so far. And it's just like a mentor and a coach. You can only go so far with that mentor or coach before you have to go get a new one, the one on the next level, the one that's proficient in what the different things that you need. But the biggest thing is, even as a parent, if you don't know about financial literacy, take that journey with your child. Take that journey for yourself. It's never too late. It don't matter how old you are, it's never too late. We have 50, 60, 70 year old that's back in college because there's a lot of things that they have to relearn themselves or get up to date with, or whatever the case may be, so they can teach it. Because that's what they do, they teach it. So just making sure that y'all really instill that into your kids and instill that into yourselves to keep learning, always stay a student, and make sure that you are growing. Don't get comfortable around one surrounding or one set of people or one mentor or one coach. You have to keep growing. The more you grow, the more you have to keep elevating.
Well, actually, I'm going to let Herb go first.
No, that was dope too. I was gonna say, stay in the rooms. Stay in the room, stay learning. Keep your eyes open, always observe. And be hungry for knowledge. With that, take down some notes. When this is 2022, have your phone out, record some stuff, and go back and play it, and play it, and play it, and play it, and memorize it. So that way it become a part of your DNA. But also pass down the information to your kids. And when you can, bring your kids along with you to the rooms, and have them experience it too. That way they can see it, they can feel it. And on top of that, always be learning. I like that part. That was amazing. And that's pretty much all I got.
All right, Mr. Sixway's about to drop the mic.
So look, write this down. The keys to success, right? I want you to write down the keys to success. I don't care what kind of business you got, what are you doing, write down the keys to success. Why? I want you to write down the keys to success because now you're about to make a blueprint. I want you to blueprint and I want you to go step by step in the process of what you're doing with your business from A to Z. Why? In order to break generational curses, you are the generational curse. So look at it like that. You are the generational curse. Why are you the generational curse? Because a curse is something that keeps happening over and over and over again. You're giving your family a new reason. You're giving your family a new being. You're giving your family a new generational wealth. So you are the generational curse. Like I said, do not believe in the statistics and don't be a statistic. Start making the statistics. So like I say, write down the process. Break it down, right? Create a blueprint. Make it something that passed down from generation to generation. Now I'm going to give you an extra key with it. When you make that blueprint, I want you to make a summary of everything you're doing, but don't drop every gem, right? And then you're going to make that as an ebook or a regular book, and you're going to sell it on Amazon, and you're going to put your child name on that book. Now you're creating another generational wealth because as long as that book is selling, your child is winning because that money's going to your child, and make sure that money goes into the next state. So, like I said, in order to break generational curse, you must be that generational curse. Stop looking at these words and stop letting them shift your mindset and make your own definition of these words because both of those words, statistic as well as generational curse, is negative. But you can make it positive with your right mindset.
All right. Hey, thank you all. That's it. It's a wrap.